Hi everyone, it's quite late in the day, but we are going to do a mad bit of planting. I really need to get the last of my bulbs in, so it's desperate measures now. If we don't get these planted, they probably just aren't going to come to anything this year. I mean, they might not come to anything anyway, but better in the ground than not in the ground. But we had to clear this border. It was covered in weeds and there was a lot to do, so we couldn't get anything in, and this is where I wanted these particular bulbs planted. I'm also going to be putting in a couple of shrubs today as well, so I'll talk you through those. I'm going to put pictures and names up on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. If you're new to my channel, my name's Annette and this is Cottoverdi. We garden here in South Buckinghamshire in the UK, which is equivalent to a Zone 8B, and we've got a gorgeous walled English cottage garden. I absolutely love it. Both Richard and I love gardening here, and we're just making our dream garden. We feel so lucky, and what we do is we bring you along, show you what we're doing in the garden, maybe give you inspiration and what I've learnt over the years. I might give you some tips along the way, so if you're interested in any of that, then do subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you along. So I'm going to talk you through the plants that I've got. There's only a couple of plants that are going in here, but I don't want to put the bulbs in until I've placed the plants, because then I'd end up probably putting the plants on top of the bulbs. So let's get the plants in first. So the first thing I'm planting doesn't look like much because it's the winter, but it's this here. This is a hydrangea paniculata called Confetti. So it's just a gorgeous shrub. It'll grow to about 1.2 meters tall, 75 wide, but it has these lovely airy white flowers on long sturdy stems, and these flowers as they mature they have like pink tones to it, so quite often you sort of get like the mix of white and pink, and I think it's just going to look really gorgeous in this border here, because this is where I've got 6 David Austen Queen of Sweden roses, and I love them so much. They're very upright, beautiful roses, and they've been in a couple of years now, so they're doing really well. So I'm going to have this gorgeous hydrangea in the middle of the roses sort of thing. It copes really well with shade actually, but it will produce more flowers in the sun, and this border gets sun pretty much all day long, so I hope I'm going to have loads and loads of blooms from it. And the other plants that we're planting today are 5 salvias. These are salvia microphylla and they're called Dyson's Maroon, and this is what they look like at the moment in the winter. So they do still have a few green leaves. They're gorgeous shrubby perennials, really super hardy, drought tolerant, easy to grow. And Dyson's Maroon has got these sort of luminous velvety maroon flowers on it. And I think it's going to be a beautiful contrast with all of the roses. Now the reason I'm planting salvia microphylla, and I do this around a lot of my roses, is because Sarah Raven is a firm believer that it helps the roses withstand black spot. So I'm just taking that on board and planting salvia microphylla around most of my roses, and that's what we're putting around the Queen of Sweden. I can't wait to see what they look like contrasting with the gorgeous pink. So the bulbs that we're planting in this border, the first one is called Tulip Mistress. It's a gorgeous pink colour with sort of almost silvery shades sometimes. It is a Triumph tulip, so it's not reliably perennial, but with any luck, if it flowers this year, I may get some flowers next year. I don't know what's going to happen because I'm so late in planting them. I just think better in the ground than not in the ground. So this one's going to grow to 50 centimetres tall, and the best thing about the Triumph tulips is that they've got really long-lasting blooms. So if you do plant them in the border, you know, they'll start flowering in April and you'll probably still have the flowers in May because they just last such a long time. I'm also planting some Doll's Minuet, which I love, and we have some of these in our corridor border. So these are a Viridiflora tulips. They've got lily flowered flowers, and they're lovely and pink with like hints of green to them, but they've just got these lovely pointy petals, and they're also going to grow to about 50-55 centimetres and will flower between April and May. And then the last thing I'm planting is the Pushkinia, which is a Russian snowdrop. So it has, they're really short, they're like 10 centimetres tall, tiny little bulbs. You just push them in with your finger, but they've got these gorgeous sort of starry shaped flowers, and you get between 6 and 8 of those flowers on each stem, and they're great as perennial. They'll just spread and grow over the years, and I think they're going to look really gorgeous in this pinky white border I've got here. Well, Richard is just finishing up planting the last of the bulbs there in the back. The ground's actually harder than I thought it was, so I guess it's a bit colder than I was expecting, but we've had such a fun afternoon just getting these in really quickly before it's too late. I really hope it wasn't too late for them and that I'll be able to show you in future videos how fantastic they look. Max is paying us a visit. I don't know whether you could hear me. I just realised that my mic was like dangling down towards the ground. I hope you could hear what I was just saying, but I just wanted to say I really hope you've had some fun with us today and enjoyed watching us getting these few things in the ground before it gets too dark. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you all next time.